The keyword phrase lookup field is where you're going to be putting your search term when you want to do a search with the Ultimate Extractor. And a really easy way to kind of remember what you can all do in this field is to just think of it like a search box within your favorite search engine like Google. Anything you could put in a search box, you can put in the keyword phrase field. And basically the program will replace, just like you would do a search, it will replace that when the search is run. So you can do site-specific searches, you can do all in title, all in URL, but usually you'll just be using this field to type in the keyword that you're trying to rank for. So in this instance, say we're trying to rank an article for down comforters, we would just place the keyword in this field. Now as you begin to use the tool, you'll start to store up some of your searches. And if you'd like to go back and see your keyword history, you can click the arrow and you'll actually be able to see the keywords that you've already searched on. And clicking these keywords will allow you to just go back and perform another search on them. So that's the keyword phrase lookup field. The search profile and country selectors allowed you pick the exact search engine that you'd like to do your search on within the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. And all you need to do here is if you click the down arrow, you can select Google, Bing, Yahoo, AOL, Ask, and AltaVista. And generally speaking, all of these search engines here comprise about 99% of all searches done on the internet. So there are obviously some smaller search engines, but these are the ones you're going to want to focus on. And I usually start with Google, though you can obviously use Bing or Yahoo if you're wanting to try and get some specific information from the top three. So if we select Google, obviously we see Google is selected here. And then over here we see we've got a drop-down section, and usually the default is .com. There is .uk, .ca, .es, .nl, .de, .at, .fr, .jp, and these are all different country-specific Google sites. Or if you had selected Yahoo, these would be country-specific Yahoo sites. Now, one feature that's very handy, and we are adding more of these as people request them, is if there is a country-specific search engine that you'd like to search that's not in the list. Specifically, let's think about Australia. All you need to do is type AU. And when you do that, it will know that you want to search Google, but you want to search Google Australia. So you can type that in there. If there's a country-specific search that you'd like to have added, please email us at meetjackduncan@gmail.com, and we'll go ahead and get our programmers on that and get it added so you can search that specific country, and we'll include it in the next update. One section that you do want to be familiar with is the Force Selected Language box. If you check this, it will essentially say only search the websites from this specific language. And let's do a quick demonstration of this. Let's go to Google Australia for just a moment. Okay, right here you'll see on Google Australia we have search the web or search only pages from Australia. This radio button here is essentially the same as this checkbox button here. So if this checkbox is selected just like this, if it's checked for selected language, it would be exactly the equivalent of clicking this radio box, pages from Australia, since we've chosen Australia as our country specific search there. Now keep in mind that most people will be using the .com, I'm assuming, so most of the time you don't even have to mess around with these settings, you just need to select the search engine. But for those of you that are using this in other countries, or if you want to target specific countries for your rankings, then obviously the features there, it's one of the really awesome features that separates the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor from its competitors, and that's the ability to do country-specific searches. And I've done a search in Google for the term down comforter, and you'll see here are the organic listings here. So in the way the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor would see this page, it does not look at the pay-per-click ads, it looks at the organic listings. It would call this one unique SERP, this would be 2 unique SERPs, 3 unique SERPs, but in no specific order. So if we select this and we say that the results must be seen on at least 2 unique SERPs, what we're saying is that the word must appear in at least 2 different places within the results that are given to us in Google. So it may appear in the first one, and it may appear in the last one, but if it only appeared, let's say, in one of these sites, then it would automatically be filtered out. Well, obviously it's based on your settings. If you wanted to set this at 4, if you wanted to set it at 3, if you wanted to set it at 6, so that you're really picky about what you get back. And that really is one of the nicest features about the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor, is you have so many filtering options. There are some other software programs that are like this program that are on the market today, but unfortunately they don't give you really much filtering, and so you end up having to do a lot of weeding through your results, and you're not ever really sure how good the results are. You don't know exactly how often the terms occurred. So when we built this tool, we wanted to make sure that you had the most functionality possible, and especially the ability to filter out the results. And you can play around with this until you find a setting that you like. I usually try and start with 3 and 2. I'm sorry, 2 and 3, 2 in the unique SERPs and 3 in the unique occurrences. But you can obviously play around, and you notice in the help section, the printed help section, we do have some other suggested settings based on what you're trying to accomplish, so you will want to look there as well. But in this case, we're talking about unique SERPs, and just know that this number is going to filter out based on how many times it appears within the actual listings of the organic section. Unique occurrences is dealing specifically with the number of times a term is found within the organic listings. So in this case, I've set my unique SERPs to 3. So I'm telling the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor that the term must appear in at least 3 of the results that come back in the organic listings. And then I've set my unique occurrences to 3. So I'm telling the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor that the term must appear at least 3 times across the organic search results. Now in this case, what I'm essentially saying is there has to be at least 3 of the organic results that have at least 1 occurrence of the word in order for it to be returned in my final results page. Now you can play around with these settings. If you'd like to get a lot of results back, you can set it to 2 and 2. And that usually means that you're going to get at least 2 of the results will at least have 1 occurrence. Now keep in mind we don't have upper bound limits here. So what that means essentially is if you set it to 2 and 2, but a term occurred on every result, that would be 10 results, or maybe 11 or 12 depending if there's some news results that sneak in there. But it means it's going to appear in the results at least 1 time, but it could occur 50 times in a single page. So you're not saying that it only occurs twice in the result, you're just saying that it needs at least needs to occur at least twice in all of the results. And you can again set these filters as high and as low as you want, and I do encourage you to experiment with them, and that way you can kind of play around and get a feel for what works best for you. And setting them high will just mean you have fewer results, but you may like that because you may be just looking for the real core terms that occur on the page if you don't want to do so much sorting at the end. If you want to set them low so that you get all the information, you don't miss anything, then obviously that's up to you as well. So unique occurrences just deals with how many times the phrase appears within the organic results pages before they're filtered out. Phrase length refers to the depth of precision in the results, how many word phrases, the count number that you want returned. So in this case, if we select just 1-word phrases, and you see I've already run a search here. I've run a search on the term feather pillow within Google, and you'll see that these are all the 1-word phrases. So in other words, there's just 1 word returned. And I like to think of these often as your LSI keywords. So these are like individual words that could be nouns, adjectives, and adverbs that would commonly be found on pages dealing with your specific term you searched for. So we see we got pillow, pillows, down, like a down comforter, a down pillow, feather, shipping, white, size, customer, product, feedback, feathers, things like that. So these are individual words. If we select 2 words, obviously we get 2 words returned. So feather pillow, down pillows, pillow set. Now, one of the nicest features about the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor that no other program currently offers is the ability to drill down up to 7-word phrases. Now, these would be extremely long tail phrases, but it is possible to find them. In some cases, we find some really great 7-word long tail phrases that we need to include in our content in order to rank it properly. So that's one thing to take a look at. Now, if you select these, you'll notice that you get a number of how many you've selected. And if you'd like to clear them all, you just click that and you can start over. So you can select as many as you'd like. You don't have to select them in order. Obviously, you can skip 4 words if you have a reason that you want to skip it. And then if you want to clear them and start over, you click Clear All. And that's how you work with the phrase length section. You'll notice there's a section just below our phrase length section, and it says Complete Search. And there's a checkbox next to it. Now, let me explain very briefly what this is. In almost every case, you're going to want this checked so that you do a full search. Now, if this is unchecked, let me show you what basically the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is going to do. It's going to obviously run a search on the term. In this case, we use feather pillow. And once the results come back, the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is going to work with just the description text on the Google results page, so just this information here. Now, in most cases, I would say, this will be your meta description tag within the site. But in some cases, Google will essentially just kind of grab an arbitrary section of the content of the page if the meta description is not present, or if they've set it up in such a way that it will grab an actual sentence from the page, and usually the sentence will include the keyword that you're searching for, which is why Google is terming the page as relevant. So that's just kind of giving you an idea. When you have that unselected, we call that a fast search. And if you do that, I will recommend that you drop these numbers very low, because obviously you're just getting very samples of the pages. And so by dropping them low, you're going to actually get back some decent results. I would say anything higher than 2 and 2 is probably going to weed out almost everything that's on this page, just because simply we've got little small sentences here that we're working with. And again, you could use this if you wanted to just get some good brainstorming ideas for some keywords. That would be one great way to use it. One thing that you should note is that the fast search is very fast. It'll just take a second to run. So let's just go ahead and leave this at 2 and 2. And we're just going to say we want 1 and 2 words. We'll leave it selected here. And you can see how quickly this will run. So obviously it's very quick when you run the fast search, because you're only searching that main page. Now when you select complete search, what you're telling the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor to do is not only to run the search on your keyword, but then to visit every page, and then to go visit the content of every page, and to create an index of all those pages, cross-tabulate them so that you come up with an entire table of words that are used based on your filter settings. So the option is there. It can be handy if you want to just do some brainstorming, but I do recommend that in most cases you want complete search selected so that you get the best information back and the most information back possible. The word length characters filter is telling the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor how many characters must appear in a word before it will be used within the index. So in most cases you're not going to need to mess with this once you set it initially. And I would recommend setting it at either 2 or 3. What you're essentially saying is if a word doesn't have at least, in this case, 3 characters, then don't even include it in the index, because it's probably a word like the, by, so really simple words. This is a really quick way to filter out a lot of the junk from the index so that you get back the best results. So to kind of demonstrate this, I'm going to set this at 4. And we'll click Run, and I'm just using the fast search just so we can show this quickly. And you'll see that the second result here for this, we're searching on feather pillow, the second result here was down. Now, obviously we've set this to 4, and there's 4 characters in this word. So we're saying unless a word has 4 characters, don't even include it within the index, which will make up our final results. So by setting this to 5 and clicking Run again, we'll notice that as the process is complete, that down now has been removed because it didn't meet the criteria for word length. So because we set it to 5, which was higher than 4, and down only has 4 characters in the word, then it wasn't included. Again, you're not going to be playing with this too much. I would recommend setting it 2 or 3. I have mine set at 3. But you can play around with this feature if you do decide that it's one of the fastest ways to filter out some of the junk that you're getting back in the index, if you are getting some. And I'll show you in just a minute how there's another feature called Ignored Items, which will actually do a more specific and better job down some terms that maybe you don't want returned in your results. Process priority is an advanced feature that I would say in 99% of the cases you won't ever need to use. But we did build it into the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor because we wanted to give the option there for power users. Now keep in mind that when the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is doing its job, it's using a lot of CPU, it's using a lot of memory on your computer simply because it's literally doing thousands and thousands and thousands of calculations in order to get you the final results. So we obviously realized there was possibly going to be a problem if you were trying to do a lot of things at once and run the ultimate keyword theme extractor on your computer at the same time. And in order to minimize the risk of your computer crashing or your computer freezing up, we added this feature here. And if you'd like to play around with it, if you click on process priority, you can set it to all of these settings. So in other words, you're saying, I want the ultimate keyword theme extractor, the program, to have an idle process priority, a low process priority, below normal, normal, above normal, high, or real time. And you can also select to also change the thread priority along with your setting here. So again, if you are having an issue with running a lot of things at once and you're finding that the ultimate keyword theme extractor is hanging or freezing up, you can set the process priority lower, and that will give precedence to your other programs that you're running instead of the ultimate keyword theme extractor. If you'd like for the ultimate keyword theme extractor to have a higher process priority so that it finishes and it's all working with your CPU, memory, and all those things, then you can select the higher, the real time, those kind of things. Again, I really honestly never play with this. I usually just leave it as normal, and I've never had any troubles with it. But the feature is there. If you are having some issues with it, then it's obviously there for you to use. The ignored items list is probably one of the most helpful tools within the ultimate keyword theme extractor. It allows you to sort specific words out of your index, which will give you much better results. And all you need to do to get to this is if you click on the ignored items, you'll notice here we have a number. I have 453 currently on my list. Some of them are custom words I've added later on. There is a sample ignore list file, and I encourage you, instead of having to come up with all these on your own, just to start with that list. And as you do your searches, you can find words that you're finding that you don't want in your index. You can simply add them. And I will note that there are, because many of you will be using this on a specific website with a very specific topic, there may be words that are constantly coming up within your topic that you don't want, and so you can just add those to your custom ignore list there. And so you'll see that we've just added the items to our list. One thing I do want to talk about is the ability to use wildcard prepend and wildcard append. And if you need some more examples of this, there is a help section dealing specifically just with the ignore list and giving some examples. But keep in mind that if we were to put in our ignore list the phrase in and put an asterisk after it, it would filter out any phrase that begins with the word in, like information, internet, into, inept, things like that. If we were to put an asterisk and put ing, it would filter out any word that ends in ing, like hunting, fishing, marketing. Now I encourage you to be very careful with the wildcards because it's very easy without realizing it to filter out something that's very helpful, so a word that you need in your index. So you do need to be careful with the wildcards, but in some cases it's the fastest way to filter out a whole series of words that you really don't want to return in your results. So I do encourage you to play around with the ignored items and to use that. It's one of the most beneficial portions of the entire program because the goal here is to set the filters in such a way that every time you do your searches, you're getting back just the richest results possible so that you don't have to do a lot of weeding through a bunch of junk information. And that's really why we set this up, so that once you do your search in the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor, you're going to get back information that's very helpful, and it's not going to take a lot of time to incorporate that information into your content so that you can rank very quickly. Every time you successfully run a search in the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor, a report will be made. And that's that final results page that you see. Now, one thing that the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor allows you to do is work with report management. And the reason we created this section was because obviously when you're doing the complete search, it does take some time, and it does take some computer involvement, obviously, and instead of having to constantly rerun things, like maybe you ran a search yesterday and you want to rerun it today, we decided it would be best to actually cache those reports so that you could quickly go back to them without having to constantly rerun the searches, and you can compare them easily. So this section down here in Other Tools, there's Open Report, Reports Folder, and Clear Reports. If we click Open Report, we're actually just taken to the folder and we can open these individual reports. And you'll notice these are all saved as HTML files, so they'll open up in any browser. A quicker way to actually see this information is to click on Reports folder. And this is just going to navigate the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor browser window to the Projects folder where you install the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. But in addition to giving you the report itself, we can see that we get the search engine that was used, the term that was used, we get the size of the report, and the date and time the report was run. Now if we want to go back to any of these reports, all we simply need to do is click on the report itself and it will pull up into our browser window, and we now have all the information from the time we actually ran the search, just like we ran the search. Now obviously these are saved by default into your computer, and if you'll see the size of these, they're quite large HTML files, simply because there's just so much information contained in each report. So obviously at times you're going to want to clear this information out and dump out this folder. And all you do is click on Clear Reports. It's going to say, are you sure you want to remove all reports from your reports directory? Once you select yes, the reports have been removed. And if we click back on the reports folder, we'll see the reports folder is now empty. So all of those past reports that we had saved have now been deleted, and we would need to rerun those searches if we wanted to get that information back. Or we may have saved it onto our computer or exported it, and so we may have it in a different file format. So the reports management section is down in Other Tools. It is very helpful to know. It's a very easy way to compare results, to look at past results, and to get some ideas, maybe even to compare results from a week ago to results from today. So I hope that's helpful. You should have noticed by now that there's a Tips and Tricks section in the left-hand column of the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. And if you click on these, you'll notice that you're taken to a page with the title, in this case, How to Get the Best Results. And you also have some other topics down here. What keywords should I have? Relevant or irrelevant results. So we've tried to give some good detailed help information within the program. We hope you'll use it, because I do think it'll help you to understand even more. We've been able to give you some additional examples that may help to explain a little bit better how the program works, and it'll kind of assist you in selecting the right settings and filters for your own searches. The browser controls within the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor are designed to give you a quick and easy way to go back, go forward, go to home page, refresh, stop a page from loading if it's taking forever to load, as well as the go and the ability to select past history that you've used. You can use these just like you would use any browser event button. So if we've done a feather pillow, we'll hit search. If we want to go back to the Google page, we would click back. We can see past results that we've pulled up, and the home page currently goes to the reports directory, so you can see any of the reports we run. And in this case, since we've cleared our reports, there aren't any reports that are in this section. And then of course we can go back, we can go forward back to the home page where we're just at. So you will want to get familiar with these. You'll be using these buttons as you navigate between reports, especially if you've run 2 or 3 reports in a row and you want to navigate between them to see them. It's easiest just to go back and go forward, and that way you can see them in succession without actually having to remember what you named them or titled them. One of the most often questions I get asked about the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is the question, what settings should I use? Now, unfortunately, there's not one good answer for this, simply because it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But I am going to just take a minute and show you the settings that I most frequently use as I've gotten to know the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. And I primarily am using this tool to find all of the rich content for ranking quickly. I'm not, while I do use the tool for other purposes, that's basically what these settings will do best. So I usually will select Google because I'm trying to rank for Google. I'll select .com because I'm just trying to use Google.com. I will select the unique SERPs as 3, meaning that the phrase must appear on at least 3 of the returned pages of the top 10. I'll set the unique occurrences to 3, so it has to occur at least once on those pages. And I'll select 1, 2, and 3 words. And sometimes I'll go ahead and select 4, but I usually stop about there. Usually this is all the information that I'll need. I will select complete search. I have a word length character set of 3, and I ignore words containing numbers. Process priority is normal, and I have my own custom ignored items list. The sample file that you've been given contains these words, and I've added a few: copyright, review, things like that that often come up, words that I want to filter out from my index. So this is just a sample idea. If you want more results, I would set this to 2 and 2, or if you want to filter out quite a bit more, I'd set it to 4 and maybe 6. If you just want the most common phrases to be returned. But again, like I mentioned, I usually start with 3 and 3, then I'll look at the results, kind of see if there's a quick way to weed out some of the results that I don't like, and then I'll usually just adjust the settings and rerun the report so that it quickly filters out the words that I don't want. And that's kind of the way I look at things with the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. Let's take just a minute and talk about how we can understand the results that we got. So in this case, I've done a test search on the phrase king size platform bed, and you'll see that I'm looking at the results page. Let's just briefly walk through what we see here. First of all, we notice we have one word section, we have a 2-word section, and we have a 3-word section. And that correlates directly with the phrase length that we've selected here under our search preferences. We'll notice next to the 1-word section, we have this number in parentheses. In this case, it's 211. What that's telling us is that in the 1-word section, there are 211 words here. And we see now in the 2-word section, we have 26 words, and in the 3-word section, we had four words that returned in our index. Coming down into the section, we see we have the word, in this case, bed, and then we have these 2 numbers in parentheses next to the word. The first number refers to the number of times that word appeared in all of the results on the pages themselves. So in this case, 476 times the word bed appeared within the results that we got back for the king size platform bed search. The next number after the comma refers to the number of certs, or the number of results that had that phrase on it. Now in this case we have 12, which is kind of interesting because usually we think of 10 results returned. And there's another feature to show you that will kind of explain why this occurred. If we scroll down to the very bottom here, we'll see this original document, and we'll see the link here. If we click this link, we're going to be taken to the actual page, the search result that was used. Now keep in mind that this is not a cached page. So in other words, it's just a live search, just like we would perform in our search engine that we used, in this case king size platform bed. But if we look through these results, we see what happened, why we got 13. We see that there were 3 shopping results that were listed. Now, sometimes the tool will filter out these. It depends on where they occur, where Google places them within the results. But in this case, it did go ahead and index these 3 pages. It's not going to affect our results dramatically in any way at all. It's just that you will need to note that sometimes you will have higher than 10 here. In a lot of cases, this won't occur. It just occurs in sometimes when you're dealing with terms where there's shopping involved and they return those results. And in some news stories, there will oftentimes be a news result that's put in there, and the result is relevant, so it will not hurt your results in any way because it's a relevant returned result. So that's the 2 numbers here. 476 times it was found in all the results, and there were a total of 12 of the results that had that word in it. And we can see that continues on in the 2-word section. We get the same information. This was platform bed was on 281 times total, and it was used 11 times. Now, one nice feature I like about the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is if we click the one word, the term one word, we get this nice graph here. And the graph actually shows us a nice visual way so that we can see the representation of the number of times the words were used. So in this case, we have this nice red column here, and this obviously represents bed, and we see it was used 476 times across the results. Then we have platform here, and as you hover over them, you'll notice that you can see the actual term that the graph represents. And this is just a really easy way to kind of visualize the top 10 words that occurred within the pages that were returned as the top 10 results. Another feature that's nice is if we click any of the words in our results, we'll get a nice graph showing us what SERPs included that word on the page. So if we click this, and you will note that because we have so many results here, we're going to need to scroll down to be able to see this. But here it is right here. We have the term bed. we'll see we have those two numbers again. And what we have here that's really nice is we actually get returned the number of times on those pages that they were used. So if you want to do some kind of advanced analysis to see how many times people are using this on their page. And we have the link here, so we can click directly and we can go directly to the URL. Now where this is helpful is if you're saving these results, obviously rankings change all the time. So let's say a week from now you decide to come back to this. This is really helpful because it will show you which URLs were included in case one of those has changed. So we have the number of times, and then we can see the 12 domains that were used in this case. And if we want to close this, we can just click this arrow here and it's collapsed. And we can go back and we can look at another word and see where it was used as well. So this is all within the report section, and we're also going to be dealing in another section with these other features here. One of the great features of the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is the ability to export the data to Excel. But one thing I should point out is that when we export the data, we're just exporting it in the CSV format. So you don't necessarily have to have Excel. You could open this up in OpenOffice or Works or even Notepad. There are plenty of programs that will open up comma-separated valued files. So when you want to do that, you simply, as you notice I just did, I clicked on Export to Excel. You're going to give it a name, King Platform Bed.csv, and you're going to click Save. I've already gone ahead and done that, and I've opened it up in OpenOffice so you can see, and I've gone ahead and formatted it a little bit so that you can see how clear the information is. You're going to get back returned the term and the number of times it occurred and the number of domains, just like you have in the report section here. But what this allows you to do is you can begin to do maybe some advanced sorting or math if you'd like. There's a lot of things you can do with this. Another thing is you can just simply go through and delete the phrases that you don't like or you don't want. If you're trying to do maybe some keyword research, or if you're working with the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. One thing you might want to do is you might want to sort the way the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor by default gives you these is it gives you them in descending order with the number of occurrences being the factor that it's looking at. So bed was 476 times, platform was 396 times, furniture was 306, size was 207. You see it's descending down based on occurrences. But maybe what you want to look at is you want it to be descending based on the number of results pages that had that word on it. So I've gone ahead and done this already, and you can see now that we've sorted this based on the results pages. And we see we have furniture, king, bed, platform, beds, price, shipping, bedroom size. So you can see in that order. So that's an option you can do. You can do some percentages if you'd like to see the percentage over the total SERPs here. We can do that. So there's a lot of different things you can do. The ability to export to CSV is a really handy format. It allows you to really begin to work with the terms in a little bit easier environment to work with, especially if you want to do math and calculations and things, or any type of specific sorting. So that is a feature that's available at the bottom of the report section, and it's called Export to Excel, and you just need to give it a name and end it with .csv and click Save, and you should be able to open it in any program that will open comma-separated value files. Saving your report is just a click away. At the bottom of the browser page or the results page, you'll notice there's an option to save the report. If you click this, you'll be given the ability to put in a file name and end it in .html, and that way you can save it as an HTML file. Now, if you do remember from the reports management section of the video training that automatically the reports are saved in your reports folder, but this would be a great way to save it, give it a very specific name, maybe give it some more specific details if you want to put that in the title of the report, or if you want to save it maybe to your desktop instead of the reports folder, which is kind of challenging to get to. You can save it on your desktop, and that way maybe you can give the information to an outsourcer, or just have it in a handy place that you don't have to go drilling down into the programs folder in order to find it. So you can save reports simply by clicking Save Report and giving it a name and a location, and it's saved as an HTML file that you can open up in any browser. You'll remember in one of the earlier help videos that I mentioned that in the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor, the keyword phrase field is exactly similar to the search box you would have on your favorite search engine. And because that's true, there's a lot of neat little tricks we can do with the Ultimate Keyword Extractor that may not immediately be apparent to you. Let's take a for instance. Let's say you've done a search on a term you'd like to rank for, and you notice in the results that there's a specific page that you'd like to analyze. Just one page. Maybe you don't want to look at all 10 results. Maybe you just want to look at a specific page. And in this case, I've kind of already set this up so I can show you. Let's take this easy article right here. How to find free police records online. I'm going to click that, and it's going to pull up in Google. And basically what I want to do in this case is I want to just do the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor on this specific article, because I know, let's say I know this article doesn't have any links pointing to it. Now that's not the case, but let's just say it was the case. And I just want to find out what they did with their content that might have given them such a nice ranking. Well, all I need to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy the URL of the page. I'm going to go back to Google and I'm going to paste the URL into the Google search box, and I want to see what results I get. Now you'll notice that here's that article, or that easy article right here, how to find free police records online, but you'll notice I've got a lot of other pages that are coming up, and obviously we're looking at his linking strategy here. But how might we actually get this so that we just have this result, which will allow us to put into the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor so that we can just analyze this page? What I would do in this case is I would lop off the front of this here, so we just have the title, and at the end I would put cite ezinearticles.com. Now when I did that, you'll notice that what happened is we basically gave the title of the article and the specific ID number, and then we said it has to come from the site ezinearticles.com, which gave us only one result. There's only one result here. Now all I need to do at this point is I need to copy this and I need to paste it into the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. I've gone ahead and I've already done that here, and I've run the search. Now you'll notice that we got some mumbo jumbo up here simply because we have so many characters in the string we're searching that kind of started to affect the header here. But it didn't affect our results anyway. And what we have here now is we've run a test, or an extraction, just on that one single article. Now I do want to show you one thing you're going to have to do. You're obviously going to have to change unique SERPs to 1 because we only have one result on the page. You can up the unique occurrences as much as you want to filter out anything you'd like, because keep in mind that even on the Easy and Article pages we have related links and related terms there. So you can set the unique occurrences to what you'd like and set the unique SERPs to 1, and this is a really easy way to quickly analyze a single page within your site or within a competitor site or within a top ranking page on the results. It's a very easy way and a unique way to use the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor to analyze just a single page. Not the primary feature of the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. Another great thing you can do with this tool is keyword brainstorming. And I love to use this tool for keyword brainstorming simply because there's something about the way it grabs its results that really is kind of out of the box thinking, and especially if you're kind of stuck in the rut with your keyword research, this is a great way to get some new ideas and find some great keywords that you can target, especially long tail keywords too. Because keep in mind that unlike a traditional keyword tool that's basically looking at, say if you're using Google's keyword tool where it's basically telling you what people are searching for, this tool is unique in that it's actually going and looking at the content, then bringing you back the common phrases that appear in the content, and then you're kind of going backwards. Then you're putting that into the keyword tool to kind of determine if anyone ever searches for that term. So it's a little bit different of a strategy. Let's go ahead and just show you a test of this. I put in the keyword soap making. And with this, I went ahead and just used unique SERPs of 2 and unique occurrences of 2. So I'm kind of trying to get a little bit more results than maybe I traditionally would with like a 3-3. And then I've unchecked one word because, quite frankly, I can't think of too many one word, maybe the phrase soap making as one phrase, but outside of that there really isn't a lot of one word phrases that are going to be words I'm going to be really interested in. They're going to just be too broad. So I've selected 2 and 3 words. I could obviously have selected 4 and on up, but as we get on higher you're obviously getting to some really long tail keywords. So 2 and 3 worked fine with me. And you see here, these are the results here. Here's the 2-word section. and a 3-word section. And all I did with this was I exported this list to a CSV file, and I opened that up in OpenOffice, and I basically just copied all the keywords into a keyword tool that I have. Now you could use the Google free keyword tool that they have. You could use something like Keyword Elite. You can use something like Keyword Research Pro. There's so many, Market Samurai. There's so many of those keyword tools out there that you can use. In this case, I just went and used Keyword Research Pro. So what I've done is I've put the keywords into my keyword tool, and I did my traditional research on my keywords. And what I've done here is I've got a list of all my keywords, and I want to point out possibly some good keywords that you could target. Let's say you had a soap making website, or you were working as an affiliate for a soap making company, and one of these ones that really stood out was kind of neat. I would have never thought of on my own, but using this keyword brainstorming technique, it kind of came to the surface. Is this one right here, lie calculator. Now I'm not into soap making, but just doing a little research, I found out that people use these lie calculators to kind of help them determine how to make their soaps. Well, if you look here, there's about 880 searches per month. This is local searches, so it's just within the United States. And you look how low this competition is here. Very low. We do have 2 people that are advertising on this keyword, which may possibly show there's some commercial intent there. There's some possibility of making money on this. And you see the different CPC, broad, phrase, and exact. So there's some action going on in this keyword right here. And we'll go ahead and pull it up in Google. Now, when I ran my search in my keyword tool, I asked it to do quotes because I'm looking specifically for where that occurred, like in titles or in the text of the content. But in this case, I'm not using keywords. You notice very little content at all for this keyword. If we put it in quotes, we're going to see that 35,000 mark, and then if we wanted to say all in title, we see there's just 366 with lie calculator in the title. So here's definitely a possible keyword that we could target, and we came up with it by using the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor and doing a search, selecting 2 and 3 words, putting a low SERP and low unique occurrences number so that we get quite a few results back, and then just running it through our keyword tools to kind of see where we've got some volume, where we've got some low competition. There's plenty of these in here. If we sort by competition, we see here's one, soap making instructions, very low competition with 720 searches a month. Let's see, natural soap company, not as many there. Here's one, Brambleberry. It's 1,000 searches a month. Soap making recipes, 2,900 searches a month with very little competition. If you do any kind of SEO using the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor, maybe just a few links pointed to your article, you shouldn't have any trouble outranking a lot of these sites here. Basic soap, wooden soap, oil soap, soap quality. So you see here there's some searches that are going on here. There's very little competition, and a lot of these things I could not have gotten from a traditional keyword tool, like even the Google keyword tool. If I had given it this information, it would have given it back to me. But had I just put in soap making, a lot of these keywords would not have come up. And I've gone ahead and checked that to make sure, and sure enough, a lot of these things didn't come up. But because we kind of took a backdoor approach, we looked at the content first and then came and looked at the possible ways someone would search for that content. We came up with some really great ideas. And where this idea really shines is if you're doing research for a topic that you don't know much about. Let's say you found a great affiliate program and you have some reason to believe there's some people making some good money with it, but it's a topic you really don't know much about. Well, instead of going and spending a whole lot of time reading about it, trying to come up with keyword ideas that you can put into the keyword tool, just use the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor and let it do the keyword brainstorming for you. Then take these keywords, throw them into your keyword tool of choice, and kind of see if you can find some great keywords that you use. Some low-hanging fruit, especially, that you can use that gets a lot of searches, very little competition, but something you could put an affiliate link in and get some affiliate commissions, or if you're a site owner, a way to get some extra free traffic to your site. Here's a very quick and easy way to do some brainstorming for articles or content pages if you just need a little help getting some direction. What you can do is you can take your topic, so in this case our topic would be soap making, and you can put FAQ after it for frequently asked questions. Now, when you do that, what's going to happen is, depending on what search engine you choose, I choose Google here, Google's going to return all the frequently asked questions pages for all the sites that are about soap making. And if you want to double check to see the accuracy of your search result here, you can do that just in your browser. If you want to just double check that. Let's go ahead and let's pull that up. And it's going to go to Google here, and we'll do soap making FAQ. So sure enough, here's all the frequently asked questions pages about soap making. We see we've got quite a few here, so there's going to be a lot of really good information we're going to pull. Now what we're going to do at this point is we want to run a search on soap making FAQ. And I've already gone ahead and I've done that. Go back to it here. And for my search preferences, I've selected 2 and 2 on the SERPs and occurrences. And in this case, I've just selected 3 and, in this case, 7 words, which we didn't find any in the 7-word phrase, but 3 words is sufficient. And what I've got here is I've run the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor against those domains that were the frequently asked questions pages. And now I can just kind of go through this list here and see if anything pops out to me as a good idea for an article. And I've already gone through and kind of done this, and the history of fragrance oils, that could be an article you could write. How to make hot process soap. Basic hot process, so you could basically talk about how the hot process works. How to make a gentle acne soap. Using essential oils, using dried herbs. So again, what we've done here basically, we've used the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor specifically on frequently asked questions pages, which is where they're going to be talking about some common ideas, some common things that people in the topic you're researching, in this case soap making, are going to be working with. And what it does is it really helps, especially if a lot of the top results for the term are like e-commerce sites. Frequently asked questions pages are loaded with content, and so it really helps you to kind of give you some good ideas for some titles, some articles, some content pages. It's a really quick way just to brainstorm for your article and your content pages. It takes just a second to log into the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. You're going to want to navigate your browser to http://www.mturkjob.com/Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro / Once you do that, you'll be prompted for a username and password. You just need to input the username and password that you were given on your download page. If you forgot to write it down, or if you forgot what your password was, please feel free to email us and we'll get you another password so that you can log into the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. As soon as you put the password in and clicked OK, it'll take you to this page here, which is the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro being hosted on our server so that you have access to it 24/7, and we can make sure that we add updates as necessary. It's very, very easy to work with, and we're going to get into now how to actually use the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. The primary keyword phrase section of the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro will eventually be highlighted in red as you analyze the content. You'll notice this long red bar underneath primary keyword phrase. And the definition of the primary keyword phrase, as I define it is the keyword that you're trying to rank for. So this would be the keyword that you ultimately want to get a ranking for. So let's go ahead and just give a keyword here. We're going to say we want to rank for the keyword platform bed. Now, as you use Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro with the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor, and that's really why these two were designed. They were designed to work together to assist you in making rich content. So we're going to put platform bed here, and you'll notice I've just run a search on platform bed within the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. And usually the keyword that you search for in the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor is going to be the keyword that you want to place in the primary keyword phrase field within the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. In the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro, primary synonyms are underlined in this blue color here. Now, I define primary synonyms as keywords and phrases that could be used exactly in place of our primary keyword. So let's go grab a few from our search that we did in the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. So the primary keyword we're using is platform bed. And as I look through this two-word section, I see platform bed, platform beds with an S. Let's go ahead and add that, because in our article or in our content, we could replace platform beds for platform bed. Obviously one's singular and one's plural, but we do want to include that option within our searching for our content. Let's find another one. Okay, we've got queen size, full size, bedroom furniture, modern platform. Let's look down here in the 3 words, wood platform beds, modern platform beds. So let's go ahead and let's add modern platform bed, modern platform beds. Let's go ahead and add king size platform bed and king size platform beds. Now obviously I'm going to need to add more of these, and I will as we deal a little bit more with actually upgrading the content, editing the content. But I just want to give you an idea of what I'm calling a primary synonym. So in this case, these words within our content could very easily replace our primary keyword without changing the meaning of the sentence. Outside of, obviously, we have singulars and plurals, which would obviously change to some extent. But the idea is that we could rewrite a sentence and include these primary synonyms in place of our primary keyword, and the general sense of the sentence would remain the same. So that is the primary synonym section. LSI topics are topics that are related to our primary keyword, but they're not synonyms of our primary keyword. So let's go ahead and look in the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. Let's see if we can find some of these. So our primary keyword is platform bed, and we've already said that platform beds is a synonym. Queen size, California king, full size, bedroom furniture. Now this is a good LSI topic. Bedroom furniture is not an exact synonym of platform bed, and yet a platform bed is a type of bedroom furniture. So let's go ahead and add that. Let's find another one. Free shipping, modern platform, box spring, customer service, bedroom sets. Let's go ahead and use bedroom sets. Wood platform bed frames and nightstands, dressers. Let's go ahead and just add bed frames. So you get the idea here. The concept is that LSI topics are related to our primary keyword in a very specific way, and yet LSI topics are not directly synonyms of our primary keyword. If we put bedroom furniture in the sentence instead of platform bed, we would be greatly expanding the scope of what we're talking about in that sentence. Obviously, there's plenty more things that qualify as bedroom furniture that aren't the platform bed. But bedroom furniture is very strongly related to the primary keyword platform bed. So this is the LSI topic section, and it will be underlined in this orange color within the content that you're analyzing. The primary or LSI keywords are going to be underlined in green within the content that you're analyzing, and these comprise individual words that are directly related in some way to your primary keyword. Now, this is probably going to make up the bulk of the keywords that you upload into the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. And so one of the things that I found that makes it a little bit easier to work with all of these keywords is to use the Export to Excel feature within the Ultimate Keyword Theme Extractor. And I've gone ahead and done that. So I've pulled up, this is my exported here. And you'll see here that what I've done is I've simply grabbed all of the one keywords, the one-word phrases, and I put them in this column. Then I've gone and I've snagged the 2 words, and I've set them in this section here, and the 3 words over here. Now I've already used the 3-word phrases, and looking through the 2-word phrases, I don't see any. Maybe full size would possibly make a good nightstands and dressers. Now this is one. It appears in 2 columns because it appeared together, but let's go ahead and put nightstands, dressers. Oops, wrong section. Nightstands, dressers. Okay, and we're pretty much done with this section as well. Now one thing I did here is I sorted by the number of results, the pages themselves that it appeared. So these are in descending order based on how many results had this phrase on it. And so basically what I would do is I would go through here and I would find any words that I don't want to include. Like new is really way too generic. Shipping, I don't really want to include that. I'm going to go ahead and just remove price for now. Products I'll remove, customer I'll remove, cart, shopping, size, free, metal, policy, service, and you can kind of just play around with this. You can leave some of those things in if you'd like, and it will obviously depend on what keywords you're using and what kind of precision you're looking for. So once I had that information, let's go ahead and sort by B. Then I could go down through here. These are in ascending order, so I could go down through here and I could weed out some of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a few of these in. So let's go ahead and sort this column again. C, descending. Let's go ahead and just grab some of these here. I'll copy them, and then I'm just going to paste them into this section. And let me go ahead and remove the extra spaces. Okay. So we've got some primary LSI keywords there. So in other words, these are keywords like furniture that are very strongly related to our primary keyword, which is platform bed. It's a type of bedroom furniture. And things like beds, dressers, nightstands, things that probably should appear in rich content that have appeared in top ranking rich content that Google's already ranked that should appear in your content. Okay? So I've just added a few here. You're going to want to go ahead and go through your list of keywords, take out any keywords that you don't want to be in your primary keywords list, and then copy and paste those into this section. I find that's much faster than typing in them one by one, because you'll probably have dozens and dozens and dozens of these keywords here that are going to be in your content. All right? So let's move on to content to check. The content to check box is where you're going to be placing the article or the web page content that you'd like to have analyzed. Now in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and paste in an article that is ranking well within Easing Articles, and I'll go ahead and paste that in there. And you'll see once I pasted it in, the article will show up within the box. And when I'm ready to start analyzing the content, I just need to click the Analyze Content button at the bottom of the page. And you'll notice that it's now gone through and it's analyzed the content, and we can see our primary keywords, our primary synonyms, our LSI topics, and our primary and LSI keywords, and we can get a good idea of the keywords that were included on this page. And now we're going to move on to the statistics section to kind of learn more a little bit about that. The statistics column of the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro will provide you with some really helpful information as you're working on analyzing your content and editing your content to improve it, make it more rich. First thing you'll notice is that we have a figure here, and we're calling this total LSI weight. Now I want to caution you to not try and use this as a magic bullet. There's not some magic number that if you hit it, your content's going to rank overnight. It's just not the case. And the reason for that is the way we calculate LSI weight is we take all of the keywords that you input in this section, the primary keyword phrases, the primary synonyms, the LSI topics, and the primary keywords, and then we take the content that you inputted that you wanted checked or analyzed, and then we basically find out how many words are in the content and then how many of the keywords were included within the content, and that gives us a percentage. So because you understand how that works, you realize that depending on how detailed you are in this section will greatly affect this number here and within your content. So if you did a lot of work and you have just dozens and dozens of synonyms, LSI topics, and keywords, you stand to reason that you're going to have a much higher LSI weight if you included those within your content, because you're factoring in much more. Also, one thing to note, what happens if we put, let's just try this. Let's put the letter A for and let's put the. So let's just say that somehow crept to our table there. When we analyze our content, you see we quickly shoot up the LSI weight, simply because we included these very generic terms. So you do want to be careful that you just include terms that are truly, that fall into these categories here. Let's go ahead and redo that again. Alright, so now we're back to 15.93%. Now I will tell you from my own experience, the content that I write, I tend to shoot for something around higher or at 10% and up to as high as say 30 to 40%, but really that would have to be something that was extremely rich. Usually you're going to find, I would say my average is somewhere around probably around 17%. Now again, don't count that as a magic bullet, because it does depend very much on the work you do in this section and the type of content that you're inputting in this area. And keep in mind that you can check more than just articles. You could check resource boxes for articles. You could check links on a page, just using the words themselves. So there's a lot more that you could put in here. Any kind of text you could put in here to kind of see what you're including, what you're not including. You'll also notice in the statistics column we have this nice summary here. We have the primary keyword section, again, that's underlined in red as it is here. And we'll see that we have the primary keyword is platform bed, and that correlates directly to right here, platform bed. And we have a number out front, and that tells us that within our content, 4 times we included the primary keyword. So we can find them. Here's platform bed here, platform bed here, platform bed here, and platform bed here. So you'll see that we included the word platform bed, or the primary keyword in this case, 4 times within our content. Now let's go look at the primary synonym section. Again, underlined in blue, we see platform beds we included 3 times. Now, this brings up a very important point. Keep in mind that the way the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro treats your keywords is that it treats them as a whole. So in this case, our primary keyword platform bed can actually be found within the keyword platform beds. But the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro, it treats the keyword platform beds separate from the primary keyword platform beds. So you need to understand that, and that can affect the way the weight is given. If you're not paying attention, you may include too many combinations of the primary keyword, so that kind of waters down the total weight of your primary keyword. So in this case, 3 instances we have of platform beds, and then you'll notice these light gray keywords here. What the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro is telling us is that nowhere in our content do these keywords exist. So that's kind of a good hint for us. We might want to go ahead and take some time to include these keywords in our content. This is one really helpful feature that we built into the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro to really assist you so that you could find things that you weren't including in your content, because it's very easy oftentimes to find the keywords that you are including, but then being reminded that, hey, is there any chance you could fit in modern platform bed or modern platform beds or king size platform beds within your content so that you can make it even more rich? You'll see we have an LSI topic section that's underlined in orange. We have an LSI keyword section that's underlined in green. Now let's say we want to work one of these LSI keywords into our content. Again, I'm just using an article that came from eZine Articles, but for example, I'm just going to show you how we might be able to work one of these in. Let's see. Okay, let's take this first sentence here. There are many things that could make up a great platform bed. Let's find it here in this section. Okay. The best furniture is made of real wood. Let's go ahead and just analyze that. Okay. So you see now that we now have furniture selected, and we have the word made has now been added in there within our keywords that we included. There it is right there, made. And so you get the idea. You can simply come over to the content to check. You can find a keyword that you didn't use in your content. You can read through it and see if there's a good place that it logically fits without sounding like you're trying to stuff keywords in. And you'll often find that because you've gotten this from the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro, that you have really rich content. It's actually really easy to work these keywords in without it sounding like you're trying to, stuff the article full of keywords or stuff the content full of keywords. So that is the statistics column within the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. The review section of the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro allows you to see in a very visual format where your LSI keywords, your primary keyword phrase, your primary synonyms, and your LSI topics appear in your content. It can really help you to see where you might have some weak content that you need to beef up a little bit. Pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, the keywords are underlined based on the section that they appear within the input area of the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro. And one thing I would like to point out is sometimes you'll see that there's, in this case, Wood King, or in this case, Home Style. You'll notice that Home is underlined here. There's a little small gap, and then Style is underlined, whereas Platform Bed is solid. Now the only difference obviously is, if you haven't figured this out, is that we've inputted the word Home and we've inputted the word Style, but we've not inputted the word Home Style. So let's go ahead and just change that so we can see the effect. Let's put Home Style, and when we go down and hit Analyze Content, we'll see that now we have the phrase Home Style with a solid underline. So that's one thing you can note. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory. This section is where you're going to be spending a lot of your time putting your eyeballs on to try and see how you can improve your content. I'll just make a general comment about this specific content, which I mentioned earlier is just a sample Easy in Articles article that I'm analyzing. You'll notice that there's a lot of rich content here at the beginning. Notice how much color there is, how many words are underlined. In fact, if we look in the second paragraph, we see the same thing. But as we get to the third and fourth and fifth paragraphs, it kind of gets a little sparse. If we want to see the actual effect of this, let's go ahead and just copy this whole section here, and let's go ahead and just look at one paragraph at a time. So let's just analyze this. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to basically show you. Notice that this first paragraph, there's a total weight of 43. Now keep in mind, this is going to be identical whether we had a lot of content or little content, because we didn't change anything in this section. So this first paragraph is really rich with your content. Your LSI content is very rich. But let's go ahead and let's look at the last paragraph. Let's go ahead and analyze this. Okay, so you see there's only a 10% LSI weight, and one other flag we get here is that the primary keyword is not used in this paragraph. And so we get a nice little red notice it's not used. And that's pretty critical, because it would be important to include it here. So this is just an idea. Another way you can analyze the content is you can kind of look at the weights throughout. Now we can see this visually very easily when we just paste the entire content in, because we can see how much color there is in this first paragraph, and then it kind of gets a little bit less, and then it gets really sparse, and then it kind of continues being very sparse up to the end. So if this was my article and I was trying to analyze it and improve it, I would try and make the color look very similar to this, try and match that in all the paragraphs using, I would at least use my primary keyword in each of the paragraphs if at all possible. So I'd have a little bit of red in each of these paragraphs. And then I would work to include some more of these primary synonyms, the LSI topics, and the keywords, so that each of the paragraph had a nice color, lots of color to it, lots of underline, without it seeming spammy or stuffed with keywords. It's very possible to do, and you're obviously going to find a lot more green, because that's usually where you have lots and lots of keywords, than you will find orange, blue, and red. But keep in mind that each paragraph should have some color to it from the different sections, so that you have some even weight throughout the article. And especially toward the end and beginning, it is nice to have your primary keyword included, so that you kind of begin with it and end with it, and that way as Google looks at the page, they kind of see a good spread out, and they're sure that each paragraph and each block of content relates to the keyword that you're trying to rank for. So this is the review section of the Ultimate Content Analyzer Pro, and it's a section you'll be spending a lot of time looking at, simply because it's where we kind of highlight the strengths and weaknesses of our content so we know how to improve it.